she saw the child, and behold, a weeping boy. And she had compassion on him, and said, This is one of the Hebrews' children. Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, Shall I go and call to thee a nurse of a Hebrew woman, and that she may nurse the child for thee? Then Pharaoh's daughter said to her, Go. And the maid went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, Take the child away, and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages. And the woman took the child, and nursed it. And the child grew, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moshe. And she said, Because I drew him out of the water. And it came to pass in those days, when Moshe was grown, that he went out to his brothers, and looked on their burdens. And he noticed a Mizraim smiting a Hebrew, one of the brothers, and he looked this way and that. And when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Mizraim, and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, behold, 2 men of the Hebrews strove together. And he said to him, That was in the wrong. Why dost thou smite thy fellow? And he said, Who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Dost thou intend to kill me, as thou didst kill the Mizraim? And Moshe feared and said, Surely the thing is known. Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moshe. But Moshe fled from before Pharaoh, and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moshe stood up and helped them, and watered their flock. And when they came to Reuel their father, he said, How is it that you are come so soon today? And they said, A Mizraim man delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us, and watered the flock. And he said to his daughters, And where is he? Why is that you have left the man? Call him, that he may eat bread. But Moshe was content to dwell with the man. And he gave Moshe Zipporah his daughter, and she bore him a son, and he called his name Gershom. For he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. And it came to pass in the course of those many days that the king of Mizraim died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage. They cried, and their cry rose up to God by reason of their bondage. And God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God appointed. Now Moshe kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, and the priest of Midian, and he had the flock far away into the desert, and came to the mountain of God to Horeb. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, but the bush was not consumed. And Moshe said, I will now turn aside and see the straight sight, why the bush is not burned. When the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called to him out of the midst of the bush, and said, Moshe, Moshe. And he said, Here I am.